Today we're going to look at the patch 9.11 changes to Neon and also the ping system, which was, I think, a bit of a surprise to a lot of people, but honestly, it's a really good thing. So I'm going to talk about it as well. So Neon's getting rid of they're getting rid of one Neon slides because they want to get rid of like the fact that she can just like get in, get out kind of deal with the slides, where she can take a fight with the slide and then get away with the slide. I also think the double slide was obnoxious as well when she was fighting multiple people at once, like snowballing through a round. And also they removed the accuracy, like the full accuracy here. You can see it's gone. She's no longer going to be fully accurate while sliding, which is just really oppressive and really, really annoying to play against. Because it was just, she could take the fight so quickly on you. She could basically use her movement ability and shoot you at the same time. It's like if Jet could dash and shoot you at the same time. It was awful to play against. I mean, it wasn't quite as egregious as that maybe, but it was quite like it would be. It was one of the ones that were super, super annoying to play against. Because you would slide and sometimes you just insta-die while she's like dodging your bullets. It's really, really annoying. And then they've got the ultimate here, which is now you have more chance to wait it out because it lasts a shorter amount of time, and there's also the orbs, the amount of orbs it takes. It's now 8 instead of 7. And honestly, I think this one is a good change, but I think the orb change is a bit weird. So the reason why I think this one's a good change, like the duration being lower, is because, as it says on screen, more counter-play opportunities. I think it's easier to play around it as the enemy, and I think that it's on the Neon player to make it worthwhile when they use it. With the ult cost, I actually don't think there's much point in this one. I mean, there is much point. I think it's a bit harsh overall. I think it does affect her, but I think it's a bit harsh. Don't think it needed this, because I think that for the most part, it's one of those ults that kind of bridges rounds rather than actually is being used proactively or anything like that. So I don't think. I mean, it's not in that sense. Like, it's not that harsh because you don't really need to use it when you've got it up every single time. So you will wait a couple rounds usually, typically with this ult. So it's not too harsh, like in the grand scheme of every ult in the game. But I think for this specific ult, as it is just one of those bridge ults, and obviously it is quite an effective one, it can just completely take over a round. So it is one of the more effective ones, much like Chamber's Tour de Force. But I do think this may be a bit harsh for Neon specifically, because I do think that this one takes a lot more skill to use, and I think it puts her more in a dangerous area than what Chamber's Tour de Force does. So yeah, we'll carry on the video. So Vice is getting some light quality of life, which you can kind of see her razor vines are like more orangey pink. Don't know what that really means. If anything, it makes them look like they're easier to look at for the enemy team, or easier to see for the enemy team. But yeah, I'm wondering to think what these are going to be, because my razor vines, I like to put them like, for instance, if these were my razor vines, there'll be one on this box and there'll be one over here somewhere, probably, because I like to put them on high angles, and then they like actually detonate on the floor from the high angle, so they become really hard to find where they are, basically, a lot of the time, unless someone's actually played against me or like throughout the game, someone might like know where my razor vines are. But I tend to have really difficult razor vines to find, so hopefully that doesn't affect me too much, or if it does affect me, it affects me in a good way. So these are the pings, and the pings are pretty egregious for post plant currently, and they're going to get rid of these. So now you can't actually ping the bomb, and you can't ping an angle that you want to pre-fire, or you can't ping an angle that you want to spray through a smoke and that kind of stuff. All that stuff is gone. So that is like a massive, massive, massive change, because now people are going to have to be learning those skills, right? Because I know for a fact that, I can't speak for everyone, but I know for me, I didn't have to learn so many different skills about spraying stuff, like spraying angles and spraying the bomb and all that kind of stuff, where to spray, all that type of stuff. Didn't need to learn that skill because the ping system exists. And now the ping system doesn't exist in the same way. Now it's more about communication rather than getting like free play, like a free aim, I guess, or like an easy way to know where to spray. You don't get that anymore. So now you actually have to learn those skills to actually do it. So now to spray the bomb, you can't just rely on a ping. You actually have to know where to spray in the smoke. You actually have to know the map a tiny bit. And the same with, even more so with like spraying angles through smokes and all that kind of stuff. I used to always ping on the map to spray through smokes. Basically always. I am going to have to unlearn that now, because it doesn't do anything now. If I ping, I won't even be able to see it. So I actually have to learn that skill. And overall, it's going to become less consistent as an overall gameplay pattern. So it means that people that do that, like I do, like ping where I want to spray and then spray, it's going to be less consistent overall because everyone's just going to get worse at it because the ping system was so consistent with how good you could be at it. So I think that's a massive, massive change. And I think overall, these are healthy changes for the game. So I am actually pretty happy about these changes, despite it not being great for the way I personally play, because I use the ping system a lot to get advantages and to pre-aim corners or to spray through smokes. So it's not great for me. It's a nerf to me, but at the same time, it's a nerf to everyone. And I think it's overall a really good change. So yeah, I would love to know your thoughts on this change and on the Neon change, and I'll see you in my next one.